Today I have a very special treat for you. I work here at the Rolling Pin Bakery in Hope, BC during the summer months, and they have very kindly agreed to let me give you a behind the scenes tour and look at what goes into their famous donuts and cakes. Now, the baking, when I normally start my shift at 7 a.m., is for the most part completed. But today, we're here super early, and we are going to actually get to help and watch make their donuts and cake.
Well, that was a bit abrupt.
Gotta wear an apron when you're working in the bakery. So normally my shift starts at 7 a.m., but today we're here super early so that we can hang out with Brent and Cara, two of the very creative brains behind all the delicious goodies here. Guys, thanks for having us.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
It's huge. Everything is big here. This is like how much cinnamon we need to buy. Jay uses it on everything. His oatmeal, his coffee, yogurt, like everything. It is a little warm. It's my apron.
You can't teach that. That's skill.
Let me introduce you to Brent, our baker here at the Rolling Pin. This is Brent.
Hi. I get here at midnight every night. I get up around 11 p.m., have a coffee, have breakfast, and then I'm on my way here and usually in the door a few minutes beforehand. Yeah, it's a different schedule. Sleep hygiene's real important with it though. I gotta be in bed at 1:30. So it's headphones, blackout curtains, white noise machine, and then my responsibilities once I'm here usually involve most of the breads, pretty much all the breads, as well as donuts, puff pastry, which we're working on now.
How many donuts would you say you make on average?
Come the summer months, we're usually making at least 300 a day, 5 days a week.
Okay.
And then for the donut days, we're making up to 1,000, sometimes over. I think we did 1,300 one day.
Wow.
Start to finish, donuts we're usually, if we're doing like 350, we're gonna start around 330, and then they're gonna be done pretty much at 8 o'clock. Favorite thing to make, I would lean towards the breads, specifically the sourdoughs that we're doing, the naturally leavened sourdoughs. There's something classic and artisanal about that. Simple bread that everyone can enjoy, whereas like the dark rye sourdough. I like the time that they take too, because they're 3 days start to finish.
Okay.
From feeding the sourdough, making the dough, letting them rest. Like we have the dark sour over there.
This is a bread proofer. It's the biggest proofer you're ever gonna see, probably. It's actually like a walk-in closet. The bread will go into a bread proofer. It's a nice warm environment to allow it to rise. This is their oven, and it's bigger than a minivan. This front door here is a little deceiving because behind this is just massive. It's got 5 racks on the inside that rotate around like a Ferris wheel.
I think the most buns we ever did in a day was like 1,500 buns.
So the buns you got here, will those probably all sell today?
Yeah.
Wow.
Also working here in the kitchen at this hour is Cara, our donut maker and cake decorator.
Hi. So I start at 4.
Yep.
And then I come in and help with the donuts. For the most part though, my job will be towards the end of this when I get to decorate the donuts, icing and filling them. And then after that, I do a lot of work for the case, so cakes, cupcakes.
Mm-hmm. I'm told that I will get to decorate a cake today with you.
Yes. So I started in 2015, not doing cake, not doing donuts. I was actually just slicing bread. And then it got busy in the summer, and Candace, who does all the whipped cream cakes, she was too busy for how many cake orders we were getting. Yeah. So I started with like topping a flan, and then she showed me how to ice. I was terrible.
Much like I'm going to be today.
And then from there, I learned most of it from YouTube.
Nice.
Just YouTube videos and
Fantastic.
like tutorials. I really like decorating cakes. And I really like when I get to experiment. Something like the cow cake.
I love that cow
with
cake.
the flowers and the faces. Probably some of our drip cakes have been more of the difficult cakes. You know, you're trying to get the nice column and everything, and it's often like smothered in chocolate and it's covered in candies and everything, and they look gorgeous. But you have to work on balancing and timing, especially when you're dealing with chocolate.
Right.
So
okay. So this is one of the things I love about this bakery is that you guys experiment and play with recipes. What do we got here?
So we've got our lemon loaves. It's the first time I'm trying the recipe out.
Yeah.
And then a fresh squeezed lemon icing as well.
Nice.
So they should be tart, but hopefully sweet enough. Yep.
All right. The cake is nice and fluffy.
Yeah.
And that glaze just adds that pucker.
Yeah.
It's so good. All right, so we are rounding on just 7:15, and some more staff have arrived, starting to get things ready for the day. One of those things are these delectable brookies. It's a chocolate chip cookie baked inside a brownie. This is what they look like before they go in the oven, and we'll show you what they look like when they come out too. It's huge!
We're punching out a lot of the extra air, but the reason you want to do the bulk fermentation is you're just developing more flavor. Fermentation is a process of love. The longer and the slower you can stretch out your process. The second rest is really just to let them relax. We'll give this another 15 minutes. And the fermentation is a bit of like a runaway train. At this point, like they will, in that 15 minutes, they'll almost double in size again. Just trying to knock out some of the big air pockets.
Oh, you have to like...
Final pass. They're gonna get cut, and then they're gonna go onto the trays. They're gonna go onto that, push down, feel firm. Hold it up.
Oh, sorry.
Ah! Press.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ah.
a natural.
So we have a cutting list here, and that tells us what we're making out of everything.
Nice.
So we've got what we're going to do for glaze, what we're going to do for Bismarcks, and then the overall total. So 234 is our total for today.
234 donuts.
Yes.
Wow. And I can see they're already, like the top ones,
Yeah,
are already
they're
getting
starting to
the...
puff.
Right now they're quite soft and they're kind of damp on the outside, so we're going to let them sit out and flash, which is the water is going to dry off the outside. Otherwise they pick up a lot of grease when you fry them. So if they're really stuck together, you want to try and flip them as a pair.
So let's...
And come under,
Yeah.
flip up and over.
Okay.
Try not to stick your chopsticks in them too much like I did earlier.
And you make that look so easy. Maybe I'd do a small tray.
Yeah.
Because that, it's my first time.
52 seconds aside for
52
these.
seconds, exactly.
You can get away with it, I'm sure. I'm a stickler for details. The volume of oil in this fryer is a lot. So in order to like drop the temperature of the fryer, you have to put a lot of stuff in here.
All right.
Gentle finger.
Gentle fingers.
Down and twist, and then a little wipe to get the excess off. The biggest thing is not manhandling them, so they don't end up with like finger dents.
Right. But, okay. First attempt, need to redo. Pulling it out is tricky. I'm resisting the urge to squish it. Okay.
And then you're gonna want sprinkles.
Oh, before the icing sets. Got it.
Yep.
Oh la la. All right, now for the moment, the double. Oh yeah. And start the timer.
We want about 10% of the weight of the dough in apples. Otherwise, you end up trying to chop. You end up with big chunks of apple. And more apple.
Today's workout brought to you by apple fritters. Why do you have to chop them?
This is how we're. Because if I start just cutting fritters from here,
Yeah.
there's not going to be an even distribution of apple.
Okay.
So we need to chop and fold and chop and fold, and then scoop up these apples and get them on top. It should be the extension of your hand.
Okay.
It's the same if you see it in like professional kitchens. You'll see that the space on the line between their counter and the oven is very narrow.
Right.
It's because you don't want to have to turn and then take a step. Because you're going to do that hundreds of times in an evening.
Efficiency is very key in a place like this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I've chopped this a lot, but what do you think?
I think you need to keep going.
Okay.
You're halfway.
Oh. So I need
You
to
want me to
move
take
a
over?
little faster.
Yeah.
It looks like you can kind of somewhat do this a little bit mindlessly. You're
Yeah.
probably pros at this. So I thought we could play a little bit of donut trivia.
Ooh, trivia.
All you need to decide is if it's fact or fiction. So, fact or fiction, Canada has the largest number of donut shops per capita in the world.
I'm going to say true.
Fact. Yes, that is very true. Industry experts estimate that there is one donut shop for every 13,600 people.
Wow.
All right, fact or fiction? The most expensive donut cost $500.
True.
Fiction. Cara gets this one. It is fiction. The most expensive donut was created in 2014 by Krispy Kreme's to mark National Donut Week in the UK, and it raised £1,000 or 1,586 Canadian dollars in today's money. That's
Holy
crazy.
moly.
Isn't that nuts? Okay, next one. Fact or fiction? The history of the donut can be traced back centuries. In ancient Rome and Greece, cooks would fry strips of pastry dough and dip it with honey or fish sauce.
I'm gonna say it's true though. The Rome's, they're pretty culinarily minded.
What do you say, Cara?
Fiction.
Okay, it is fact. Brent gets this one. Okay, so we are tied then, 2-2.
Oh, it's a competition.
Well,
You're going down.
All right, fact or fiction? The word donut came about because donuts used to be holeless, and bakers once stuffed nuts into the middle to prevent an uncooked middle.
False.
Yeah,
Fiction.
It's fact! Yeah! Still tied, 2-2. Fact or fiction? The Guinness World Record for the most jelly donuts eaten in 3 minutes is held by Leah Schutkever of Birmingham, UK, who ate 10 jam donuts.
True.
Yeah.
But I think I can do better.
That is actually fact. Interestingly, she was not allowed to lick her lips
Oh yeah,
at
see?
any point while eating them.
What a weird rule.
I know. Isn't that fact or fiction? The American president, John F. Kennedy, once called himself a donut to the German public while visiting Berlin.
True.
Yes. He said, "Ich bin ein Berliner," which translates to, "I'm a donut." Fact or fiction? National Donut Day is the first Friday in July. Fiction.
First Friday, true.
Ooh, Cara gets it.
No.
June. It's the first Friday in June.
What's the difference?
All right, so speaking of National Donut Day, it came about to honor bakers around the globe who make this most popular treat.
False.
False. Also false. Yes, that is fiction. Fact or fiction? There's a variation of donuts in France called pet de nun, or nun's farts.
There's no way. There's no way.
True. Oh, Cara gets it again.
You French.
All right, so this is a fritter of choux pastry made with milk instead of water that is then fried and dusted with icing sugar. All right, last question, although I don't know if Brent can catch up at this point.
Let's make it worth 3 points.
Wow.
And then this last question could decide the
Who
entire
wins?
thing. It's not
Okay.
fair, but
Yeah, it's really not. If I was Cara, I would be outraged, incensed.
All right, here we go. The most popular donut ordered in Canada is the apple fritter. Fact
True.
or fiction?
It's our most popular donut, so I'm going to say true.
Yeah, sure, true.
That is true.
Yeah.
Cara wins.
Comment below. to let us know how many of those questions you got right.
All right, so all the donuts are done. Here's one of the perfect, beautiful warm apple fritters, and I can't wait to get my teeth into this. But first, Brent, can you tell us a little bit though about what makes the perfect donut from a baker's perspective?
I think from my perspective, a perfect donut has to have that beautiful little white line running around it.
Okay.
It shows that it didn't sink too low in the oil, didn't suck up a bunch of extra oil.
Yep.
And I like my donuts to be kind of airy and light, and a Boston cream is my favorite donut for sure.
Okay, so we're gonna get Boston cream for Jay, because that's his favorite. I'm really into these apple fritters, and I love the caramel cream donuts. I've never had one like fresh from the fryer before. This is amazing. It's still warm, it's gooey, it's fluffy, just like you said. Oh,
You can't be fresh.
you can't be fresh, which is why you need to get here at 8 a.m. to get the fresh apple fritters. Donuts, in one form or another, have been around for centuries. Ancient Romans and Greeks were said to fry pieces of dough and dip them in honey or fish sauce. Printed recipes for gefüllte Krapfen date back as far as 1485 in Germany, and Dutch settlers are responsible for bringing oeliekoeks, literally translated as oil cakes, to the New World. As bakers experimented with different variations, including putting nuts in the middle to prevent raw centers, the modern ring donut is not said to have come about until 1847, when a ship captain named Hansen Gregory decided to punch the center out of the donuts his mother was making for him and his crew. The rise of the donut in North America, however, really took off during World War I, when 250 women volunteers for the Salvation Army were deployed to France to support American troops with baked goods. The ladies came up with the idea of serving donuts to the troops and affectionately became known as the Donut Dollies. Every first Friday of June marks National Donut Day to honor these women. Today, variations of donuts can be found in every corner of the world. Different shapes, stuffings, and types of dough are lovingly made and fried every day. However, I don't think anywhere in the world loves donuts as much as Canada, where we eat the most donuts per capita each year and have the most donut shops per capita than any other country. Donuts have become synonymous with Canadian culture. The shop is open. Brent has gone home. It's the end of his shift, but Cara's still here, and she's gonna do cakes, and she's gonna show me how. What do you got for me, Cara?
So we're going to do chocolate cake today.
Okay.
We're going to do a chocolate ombre cake.
All right, something I've never done. I'm very
it's gonna be
excited.
fun. So this is our chocolate ganache.
Okay. And you guys make this?
We do. So we've got buttercream icing.
Buttercream icing.
And our chocolate ganache.
Okay.
So we're gonna set up our cakes.
Yep.
We'll mix everything right now.
Okay.
So it has time to kind of darken as it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, as it sits.
It'll be one color, but then it
That's
darkens
right.
as it sits?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right. So we're starting with our darkest color as well.
Right.
So we'll make most of our amount the darkest.
Okay. And then you
just add the white
some,
to
and
it
then
as
you
you
lighten
go.
it.
That's right.
Okay. Okay.
And we'll do a chocolate ganache filling as well, unless you'd
Nice.
rather do a fruit.
Do you want raspberry, honey?
Chocolate and raspberry is delicious.
Let's do raspberry. That's like yours, right?
That's my
That's the
favorite,
one you'll
yeah.
eat. Okay.
That sounds really good.
All right.
One on the board.
It definitely, I can see how this takes practice.
Yes.
Okay, can I cut it in half
You
again?
can, not like that.
Not like that. Just exactly the same way.
Yeah, but in the middle. So this is our chocolate ganache and buttercream icing.
So we pull down the sides,
Now we're going to just pipe around the edge.
just in a circle.
Just in a circle.
And it doesn't have to be pretty because it's the inside. Now, is it possible to go too much filling?
Yes, absolutely.
How do you know if you've gone with too much filling?
When it comes out the top.
Oh, so it's an after you've
It's
done
an
it.
after you find out. Now your lid.
Yep. Okay, and then just repeat?
Exactly.
All right, let me see how
Make sure
straight.
it's as straight as we can get it. So we are going to put just a little bit of icing, just kind of the outside for a crumb coat. Just
In a circle.
in a circle,
around.
wherever around the edge. So, yep.
So we just
This
go
is,
around.
This is
and
yeah.
it's-
This is just kind of collecting all the crumbs, and so we see where it's kind of like pulling with you.
Yeah.
You probably want a little bit more icing.
Okay, more or less. I've got most of it.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you the rosette. I use my other hand for support.
To, like, steady?
Even when I'm on the side. That's
Oh, okay.
how I do it. So
All right.
rosette is an E,
An E.
so like a small E.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
And you always want your tail to kind of end going this way.
All right.
Because then when you get your next one,
Then you cover
it
that up.
covers it up.
Okay, I
Probably
can
want
go
it
a little higher.
Yeah.
I think my ganache is melting. There are some that are better than others, but
how they go.
I can see how you can get into a rhythm. And
Does ombre mean shadow?
so it must be a French word. L'ombre? Yeah, that is shadow. Good question, Jay. Any more questions from the audience? Okay, for me, the hardest part with cake decorating is getting the colors right. Can you speak to that a little bit?
I love
Tips?
colors. I really like color theory too.
Okay.
Like how to mix specific colors to get other colors.
And so it's just a matter of adding
Practice.
small amounts of
Very small amounts.
Very small.
Like if you take yellow buttercream,
yeah.
add the tiniest amount of purple,
Yeah.
you'll get white.
Is this still dark enough?
It's to me it's
gonna
a
be.
little lighter, but I think it'll be okay.
It's all going to the same place in the end. My belly. And Jay's belly.
Basically going to take this whole section. You're going to start there.
The texture of this has changed just a little bit.
Yeah,
It
it's
melted it a
also,
bit,
there's
but
just
it's-
less ganache. You do 1, 2, 3,
Okay.
you should fill it.
All right. Finishing touches, we're not done yet. Pearls and sparkles. So I would have a tendency to just say, I want them all and put them all on, and then it's gonna be too much.
I like them in groups of 3, so I always do 2 big ones, 1 small one.
And so don't do more than that. Don't just put them everywhere.
Yeah,
And
and sometimes less is more, right?
so thank you so much
Yeah, it was lots of
for
fun.
taking your time and sharing this with us. If you want to order a cake from the Rolling Pin, give them a call or come in. Cara's your lady. She'll set you up. So, the bakery is open, the donuts have been made, the cakes are now done. I'm here with the owners who have taken a few minutes to chat with us. So Robin and Blake, thank you so much for letting us do this today.
You're very welcome.
I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, how did you come to own the Rolling Pin Bakery?
I was in the automotive business for about 30 years. After the kids got out of the house, we took a chance. It just kind of came to us one time that, hey, the bakery's for sale. I did love to bake.
You said you did love.
I do.
Is there something that you guys make that you guys just absolutely love? Do you have a favorite?
I love our puff pastry. I think anything that involves our puff pastry, like the pineapple crunch or our strudels,
And we've seen a lot of that happening this morning.
it's so hard to do. It's so labor intensive.
And those strudels are just bursting with filling.
My favorite is the brookie, which is one of our peanut butter cookies baked inside of one of our brownies.
The bakery is a really hopping place around Hope, especially in the summer. How do you guys manage all of that? Like, what's the key to your success? And what keeps you going?
Wow. I think it's become a well-oiled machine. Like everybody has their part,
Yeah.
and everybody knows each other's parts, and so we are able to jump in and help out.
You got to point out that we have like superstar staff. I think that's, as far as I'm concerned, what keeps us going is the people.
So what can you tell us that's coming up for the bakery?
We're actually working on a couple of new cake flavors. We've just recently come up with a hummingbird cake, and we've started working on a butter tart cake, which is a spice cake with our butter tart filling between the layers.
And what's this hummingbird cake?
The hummingbird cake is a cake that's made with banana pecans and pineapple. It's really good. We've started working on a s'mores kit now. We're making our own marshmallows.
Yep.
And we sell a kit with some marshmallows, some Hershey bars, of course, and then you fill it in between glazed donuts.
We may at some point make our own graham crackers as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh neat.
We just need to find time to work on that.
Cool. Yeah.
So summertime is not ideal.
Okay, well, thank you again so much. We've had so much fun, and we hope all of you have enjoyed getting to see how the donuts are made, how the cakes are made. Please come check out the Rolling Pin Bakery here in Hope.
We are open Tuesday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 4, and Saturdays from 8 till 2.
There you have it. Come on in and say hi. Bye.
You'd be amazed at how many people Pause. Redo.
This morning we're here at the Rolling Pin Bakery, and Cara's already laughing. I'm sorry. Updating it, bringing it some new life.
Right.
Should I say that again because of the crow?
He's gonna end up in a pie.
Oh,
Still rolling. Rewind. You need to Say that sentence again.
Because I just blah, 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 blah,
Blah,
blah.
blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Is there a particular angle you want?
No, unless you want like a shot of my butt. I think my butt's my best
Here
angle.
might be nice, hun. Make sure you don't miss the next video by liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.